So guys, here's my spoiler-free review of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And when I tell you I just saw the movie, like I didn't even put like bullet points to talk about, like nothing, dude. I'm just going raw with this. And it's a Quentin Tarantino movie. I fell in love with this guy since like Pulp Fiction came out. Actually, Reservoir Dogs before that. And there's one of the few directors that actually, you see his name, it sells. He's one of my top favorite filmmakers. Probably number 2. And every time one of his movies comes out, it's like an event. It's always different than anything that's out at the time, which is cool. This is his 9th film, and that's kind of a big deal because he said from the beginning he's only making 10 movies. Now, before you start to count it and tell me I don't know how to count, he considers Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 one film, which is the way it was supposed to come out. Which one's my favorite? I don't know. It just depends what day it is. And I have to tell you, even the weakest Tarantino movie is still a good movie. There's not really a bad one. Let's start here with the world he builds. This feels like accurate 1969 Hollywood. Now, I wasn't born in 69, so it's not like I would know, but it feels accurate. The soundtrack, the background, the streets, just everything. The vibe, yeah. Then let's move over to the actors. The 2 main actors are Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. They're both freaking great. Brad Pitt I definitely think was better, but they're both great, and they do carry the movie. Margot Robbie is also fantastic in this. She steals everything she's in. Some people are definitely not gonna like how little she's in the movie, but if you take a step back and realize she's more the symbolism of what people feel in Hollywood at the time, and not so much a character, it kind of makes sense. Now, as you may or may not have heard, this does have to do with the Charles Manson family murders of Sharon Tate. Margot Robbie actually plays Sharon Tate, but it's kind of in the background. It's not the focus of the movie. It's in the backdrop. And every time you see like a scene with like the Manson family and you know what's gonna happen, it's like there's impending doom through this whole movie that you can just kind of feel it around the corner. Those scenes are great. Especially this one girl. I'm checking my computer real quick. Margaret Qualley plays this girl named Pussycat. Dude, fantastic. She's just got this sweet, innocent vibe to her, but just the right amount of batshit crazy in her eyes that you could be like, I can picture you stabbing somebody to death. Yeah, she's awesome in this. And there's a lot of people. Timothy Olyphant's in this, Al Pacino's in this. All the old gang of like Quentin Tarantino's actors that always show up are in this. And they're in this for little pieces of just like scenes. As far as the narrative, this movie really doesn't have a real strong storyline going. It's just a bunch of different, like, it's just hanging out. I see a lot of people try to compare this to like a Seinfeld episode, and I can definitely see that. Something else I would compare it to is like Entourage. I just freaking binge watched that for the first time like a few months ago. Freaking love that show. Usually wasn't too much about anything. It was just hanging out. And I'm okay with that. I kind of like that. Anyone who's ever been in like theater, film, anything, they'll tell you what happens backstage or behind the camera or back scenes or whatever. That's more entertaining than whatever you're going to watch them do, whether it's a play or a film. You see actors like Leo, whose star is fading, and the struggle they go through, as well as Sharon Tate's star, which is rising, and what she feels. I'm just saying people that are in any type of entertainment business or industry, they'll get a little something more from this movie than somebody who's not. But it's still fun. Now, all movies have a first, second, and third act. The first act of this movie is good build-up. It's cool. You meet everybody. It's pretty entertaining. The second act of this film is where I kind of have a problem. I mean, it slows down like snail's pace. Like if you gotta pee, pee then. Because it's almost a 3-hour movie. It's 2 hours and 45 minutes, and I gotta tell you, if they would have cut 45 minutes out of this movie, probably the second act, minus some scenes, this would be a lot tighter film. And it's Quentin Tarantino. You're used to people talking for a long time, and you're engaged in the conversation. Freaking Hateful Eight, dude. Most of the whole movie was that. And the thing about the second act is that it did something that I've never seen in a Tarantino movie, which is be boring. A lot of the conversations in this movie really didn't have a lot of tension, where in other Tarantino movies, a conversation about freaking drinking milk like Inglourious Bastards, dude, that was full of tension. Yeah, you missed that in this. And even though the Sharon Tate murders or this whole Manson family story is in the backdrop, I gotta tell you, man, it's like there's almost a movie I wanted to see there where I wish Tarantino could have just made a freaking Manson horror movie. And there's a scene in the second act where it kind of touches on like suspense of a horror film, and it was well done. And I wanted more. Thankfully, the third act, dude, it just kicks into overdrive. Like you better go pee before that third act starts, because it's great. And it's an amazing payoff. And I have to tell you, I was gonna give this movie 3 stars, maybe even less halfway through the second act. But then here comes the third act, dude, and I was just like, okay, I gotta bump it up, dude. And it was a great time. But there was a tightness in storytelling that this movie lacked that other Tarantino movies always had. Still, if you're a Tarantino fan, yeah, go see this, dude. It was fun. It was great. And make sure you stay for the post-credit scene. Just the ending of it is funny as can be. Guys, I hope you enjoyed my review. Please like, subscribe, and whatever, do all the stuff that I have. And thanks for watching.